Welcome to a new episode of The Usual Saints. I'm Mike D with Vinnie and Jeremy. Vinnie, how I sound? I sound good?
You sound beautiful.
Jeremy, do you like the way I sound this week?
He's just making a face.
Sure. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Jeremy doesn't know how to get on that microphone. Where the hell is your microphone?
It's right next to me.
He's sitting in the middle of his bed and his microphone's at the end of the bed.
No, I'm sitting on the end of the bed.
Okay, my bad. You got such a huge bed with all that money you make. I mean, what's it? That's the whole room, it looks like.
What is that? Is that a Toy Story comforter?
No. It's whatever wife decided to put in the house.
Okay.
I don't have much to say in that. I don't know about you.
No.
Well, I just got all new equipment. This is like I told you guys, I was investing in some equipment. So I'm working on the new Mac Mini. I got a blue Yeti microphone. It's USB, so it's not like it's XLR professional microphone yet, but I wanted to get a new USB so I didn't have to keep stealing my daughter's.
You have to run it through interface or no?
No, this is just plug in, play USB. Got a new webcam. That's what I want. One of the things I want to talk about. Like, I got supposedly the best webcam right now, and yeah, it looks nice, but A, the software doesn't work on the Mac because it's in beta, and B, I did order a different webcam that came with its own ring light around the webcam, and it was supposedly make me look prettier than I already do. Oh, but but it doesn't naturally work with a Mac, and so I would have to literally go set it up on my daughter's computer, which is a PC, bring it over here and hope it worked right. So I was like, nah, it's $100. I don't want to waste that just on, nothing. So,
right.
But it's working okay. I'm transferring all the stuff over to this computer so I can not have to bum my family's equipment and go from there and hopefully use this for some other production stuff eventually. More podcasting. I don't know. We'll see.
A good thing.
Yeah. What's been going on this week, guys? It actually has been a full week since we last talked.
Yeah. I just finished up my first full week of employment.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, man. Worked 8 to 4 all week. I have tomorrow off, and then I go back on Sunday, 6 a.m. to 4 p.m.
So is that going to be your shift, or are you going to switch to nights?
It'll be my shift for now. There's a lot of changes going on. Practically the whole company is in training right now because Sinclair is the client of this company I work for, and they're going to be doing all the sports. We're broadcasting all the sports that they cover all over the country. So we're in the training right now, and they're trying to set it up so everybody can stay on a 4-day work week. So some things may change. It all depends on how well, people adapt to the new equipment and how well they do in training. So that's to be seen. But for the month of February, it looks like that'll be my schedule, 6 to 4, Sunday through Wednesday, and then Thursday, Friday, Saturday off. So that's pretty cool. I'm not complaining about that.
Welcome back to giving the government money instead of them giving it to you.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. No more government cheese. I'm depressed.
Jeremy sounds like a real kind of Scrooge guy there. He's like, welcome back to giving the government money, so I don't want to give it to you.
I'm sick of paying for your shit.
Pretty much, yeah.
Jeremy, are you
what I was implying.
Are you anti canceling people's student loans?
Yeah.
Why?
What the fuck? Because I paid mine. What the fuck?
I paid mine too. But I don't want that burden on other people.
Not everyone needs to go to college.
It's true.
Well,
true.
Yes, maybe. But it's always a good thing to at least try it in most cases to see if it works for you because, better education would better this world. Don't you agree?
I do, but someone's paying for that.
Yeah.
I mean, if it's not them, it's us. That's not a debt neutral thing. The tax money's going to pay that. It's coming from somewhere. And they're not going to take it from any other programs, so it's going to be out of your paycheck.
Just tax Amazon 1% of their total earnings. You'd be good.
Yeah,
I'm sure.
Speaking of that, I don't even know much about it. Did you guys read any articles on Jeff Bezos and stepping down? I know he's stepping down from CEO to become executive chair or something like that. So, I mean, Does that mean anything?
Board,
yeah, I mean, he's still Jeff Bezos.
My first thought was, okay, what kind of scandal's about to come out?
Right.
That he's stepping down. I mean, maybe I'm jaded. That was definitely my first thought. Did you reach out to him to see if he'd come on and talk to us?
No, unfortunately, I forgot to reach out to Jeff Bezos. I've reached out to a bunch of other people. Who have you reached out to, Jeremy? Anyone?
Nobody.
Oh, nobody. Oh, thanks for that. I appreciate it.
I don't know who to reach out to. I'm not very good at this stuff.
Anyone, man, just reach out. Listen, if you have something you think would be a good topic to talk about, you have a tweeter, and you can just go ahead and at someone and be like, "Hey, dude, what's up?"
Tweeter. What is a tweeter?
Yeah, I was being funny, you know.
Oh.
A tweet machine. Yeah. He's got a tweet machine. Yeah.
I think everyone here has a Twitter. I think even Vinnie for your art and stuff, right? I thought I found you on there.
I have a Twitter, but I don't use it. I don't go on the thing.
All right. So I want to delete this off the topic list because Jeremy put it on 2 weeks ago. Vinnie, did you have any chance to do your homework?
No, I did not do any homework. No, I did not.
That's all right.
I'm sorry.
Vinnie has an F.
Yeah. Well, what else is new? Well,
it's not a new feeling, I'm sure.
Yeah. I got plenty of Fs.
Oh man, okay. So I don't know how many people are listening this week and heard the interview last week. We didn't get much feedback on it besides my immediate local people. So I'm hoping to get more feedback on that. And I'm reaching out. I have a whole bunch of people, in the works for interviews. We just need to work out the schedule a little bit better. But I like interviewing people, even if it's something we don't know anything about. Like we talked about that dance therapy lady. I don't know what the hell that's about, but you know what? I'll give it a shot. Let's see what she's got to promote.
Yeah.
Do some research if we need to beforehand.
I mean, is that even really something you really need to do research about? I mean, I've heard, Larry King just died. That was a week and a half ago. Did we talk about that?
That should open up some people to interview. If not doing it anymore.
Exactly. Get in touch with Jerry Seinfeld immediately.
Well, listen, Larry King, allegedly, his thing was he didn't do any research at all before he had a guest come on. And so the guest would just come on and he would just, I guess, go up based off what he knew about the person.
So who are you? So who are you? So who are you again?
I mean, that's basically, allegedly, that's what the story is. But I mean, that could be fun. Things come out during the interview and that you just riff off that. I don't know. It could be fun.
It's just like meeting somebody at the bar. You bump into somebody, you start talking shit, and sometimes it's entertaining. So
I gotta tell you, that's probably the thing I miss most with the pandemic. I mean, I miss being able to go to like theme parks and things like that. But I like to go to a bar, a dive bar, regular bar, whatever kind of bar, and just have a few drinks, and if I have a friend, cool, and we can chat up with someone, and like just that kind of thing you just talked about, Vinnie, where like you're in that place where you're talking to someone, you're just shooting the shit. That's kind of.
And how many times I've met somebody at a bar, some character that just happens to be hanging out at the end of the bar by himself, and I'll belly up next to him and start talking, and all of a sudden I'm thinking, Jesus, I wish I was recording this shit, because you never know what somebody's going to say, man. And especially if you get an older guy who's been, just got done drinking a bottle of whiskey, and now he's, he's slowing down drinking, gin. So, man, I miss that too. That getting to talk to, people at a little dive bar or whatever. That's one of my favorite things, man, doing that. I don't go to any, nice joints or anything. I look for the dive bars all the time.
Right.
Yeah, they're more interesting, more fun.
Well, that's why
because I don't like talking to people.
Yeah, Jeremy drinks at home.
No, he doesn't drink at all. He's like, what do they call it, a teetotaler?
Oh, are you a teetotaler? I didn't know you were a teetotaler.
I'll drink. I don't drink alone, and
yeah.
I don't talk to people. I don't go out anywhere. So.
He spent the first 39 years alone, so he's
alone.
That's not true.
For like 12 years now, 9 years, something like that.
I think something like that. Yeah.
It's my 10th anniversary this year. I've got to check that, but I'm pretty sure.
So I want to talk about something we didn't get to finish last week that we started right before the representative came into the.
Is it death? Is it death again? Are we going to talk about death again?
No, we talked about death, but we won't. Let's talk about death first, because we did have some people die. No, we had some people die. We had Screech from Saved by the Bell. Dustin Diamond died. That was a little crazy because, I mean, what was it, 4 weeks ago, maybe, that they came out with the news. And, I always thought of him based off what came out in the media, like, oh, he's a scumbag. He's just trying, he's writing these books. He's doing the sex tape. He's just out there here's the weirdo dude who's never going to be back in the Saved by the Bell family. Not that that's a great thing, but whatever. But I saw an interview he did with Mario Lopez a few years ago on whatever Mario Lopez's show was, Extra or something like that. And he actually seemed like an all right dude. He seemed like he was actually apologetic. He blamed the ghostwriter for the shit that was in the book that was like real salacious. So I mean, it just, it's never good to see someone die unless they're an evil person. So I mean, it's just kind of unexpected, I guess.
What was it? Was it cancer he died from?
Yeah, he had lung cancer. I mean, I don't know enough about him to know if he was ever a heavy smoker or something, but I mean, it was just, I feel like it was just a sudden thing.
Yeah. Well, you don't have to be a heavy smoker to get lung cancer.
Of course.
You can tell he wasn't forgiven by the cast since there wasn't a lot of outpouring of, sadness and, oh, we're going to miss him. And he apparently was not forgiven by the rest of the cast.
Right.
No, after he died, they put stuff on Instagram. I saw one from Tiffany Amber Thiessen, Mark Paul Gosselaar, Mario Lopez, and Lark Voorhees. I think the only one I didn't see was Belding. Is he dead? But he
might be dead.
What about the other one?
Elizabeth Berkley. Showgirls.
Yeah, exactly.
No, I didn't. That's the only one I didn't see, but I don't know if she has a heavy social media presence. But they all said words about him. They all seem, bummed that he was gone. I mean, Lark Voorhees, when the reboot came out a few months ago or whatever, I remember seeing an interview with her saying that she was hoping that he'd find a way onto the show, but she thought it was about money. Who knows if that's true or not? I mean, this guy wasn't doing any acting at all that I can recall. So, I mean, if it was about that and not a health thing or not some kind of mental health thing, I don't know. But
So do you know, was he much younger than the rest of the cast? Because they said he was 44.
Yeah, he was 44.
Thought everybody else must be closer to 50.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like he was probably a little younger. I mean, if you look at the show, he always looks a little younger, I think, than all the other characters, especially like those first few seasons.
Yeah,
well, that definitely might have contributed to them not being so close to him.
Yeah, definitely true.
Yeah, probably.
Were you guys? I mean, Jeremy, I think you were. Were you guys big fans of Saved by the Bell, or did you watch occasionally?
Yeah, Kelly Kapowski for the win.
Yeah, man,
that's right.
I used to have it on every morning as I got dressed to go to work.
What were you doing at the time, Vinny?
I was working at a paint store.
Oh, paint store. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Wasn't sure if that was the same. How long did you do that? I know when I met you in 2007. Were you doing that 20 years or something?
Yeah. I started in 86, 87.
Okay.
And
All right. I mean, I can't remember the first, I don't know if it was a pilot episode of the first season where it was called something else. It was called The Teacher's Name rather than Saved by the Bell. Miss Bliss.
Something about Miss Bliss.
Yes. So I don't remember. I remember who it was. That was the Parent Trap lady. What's her name? Haley Mills or whatever. Yeah, she was the teacher, and then they focused it more on the kids. And I think that's probably the smart move. I mean, that show, I mean, I don't remember plot specifics or anything like that, but I have fond memories of watching the show. And like when they went to the beach house, to work at the club, and what's her name? Leah Remini was,
who was a love interest, love interest for Paul Gosselin. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, and then I even watched the college years. I didn't watch, I think there was something else. When I think Belding, they went back to the school. Did they do a soft reboot or something? Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't watch that.
Did one. It didn't work out well.
Okay. So I didn't watch that one, and I haven't watched the new one yet. Anyone watch the new one?
No. I think it has Mario Lopez and Elizabeth Berkley on it, though.
Yeah, I think
my question is, when Leah Remini was doing that show, was she a Scientologist then?
Yeah.
I think she was most of her life. Yeah.
Yeah, she was in it from a young age.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
I just looked, by the way, and everyone was at least 2 years, and most of them were about 4 years older than Screech. So at that age, when they were filming that show, that's a huge age gap.
Yeah. Plus, they were the other actors on there were acting elsewhere. He wasn't doing shit except Saved by the Bell. Yeah. And then you didn't see him doing anything until he did that boxing thing. Remember that?
What about
debacle?
Celebrity boxing?
Celebrity boxing. Oh my God.
What about Saved by the Smell? You didn't watch that?
Saved by the Smell.
That was the name of his sex
tape. Was that a parody?
No, that was the name of his sex tape. that was literally the name of it.
Watch that a bunch of times.
Saved by the Smell. Which smell? The playground or the
I think he did a Dirty Sanchez to one of the girls. Allegedly, I've never seen it, but
Dirty Sanchez.
You guys know what a Dirty Sanchez is?
Yeah.
Okay. Jeremy knows. Vinnie, do you know?
I'll look it up later.
Okay, well, I'll explain for the listeners.
I may have already done it, and I don't know what it is. So,
Jeremy, does it involve a finger going in the ass, or does it just involve fecal matter on the finger? Anyway, so somehow you have fecal matter on your finger. I think you stick a finger up the ass. So the other person's ass.
Their ass? Okay.
Yeah, their ass. Yeah. And then you wipe it underneath their nose, so it looks like they have a mustache.
What the fuck is that?
It's a Dirty Sanchez.
Dirty Sanchez. That's not only disgusting, it's racist.
I was going to say it's problematic on many levels.
Holy shit. Literally, holy shit.
It would only be holy shit if it was like a cardinal or the Pope or something.
Boy, this show just took a dump. I mean, a real dump.
My dad said we needed to be more provocative. Hey, let's go ahead. He's the listener. He's the listener who told me I need to be more provocative. I took that, because I don't really talk. I'm not personal, like a prude or anything. Yeah, kind of. But I wanted to mention it to you guys. I asked him if he wanted to come on tonight. He's like, not tonight.
Come on, Dad. We're going to talk about Dirty Sanchez's.
Yeah, I just wanted to know why he hates me so much and he doesn't want to come to our house. That's
Jesus Christ.
No, come on. They need to get the vaccine. You know how it is. But yeah, I don't know what provocative he meant. I don't know if he meant politically. I don't know if he meant sexually, because we're not really we don't talk about sex in our family because, that'd be weird for me. But so I don't know what he meant, but, whatever. Let's just be ourselves. I'm not saying we have to do stuff out of character, but I feel like we all are characters. we can go from there.
Yeah.
So, Vinnie, you're a dad, right?
I am.
All right. Yeah. So I got a question because this surprised me about Mr. Mike here.
Oh, boy.
He is much more of a conservative parent than I ever would have imagined. And my kids, they can pretty much watch whatever they want. I have a 13-year-old and a 17-year-old, but since about the age of 11, they can watch most of what they want. I mean, we don't do a lot of nudity with them, but pretty much they can watch what they want.
Right.
And Mike is a much more policing what his daughter is allowed to watch on TV and movies, and that shocked the shit out of me.
Is she still watching? Is she still watching Barney?
All right, so wait, Jeremy. No, she's not. But Jeremy, give me an example, and I'll explain. I have reasons. Give me an example.
I think you said you wouldn't let her watch American Pie.
American Pie, that's a lot of sexual innuendo in that movie, man. And that's rated
R. She fucks the apple pie.
She's starting high school next year.
I know. And I understand that.
You think she doesn't know any of this thing?
No. But at the same time.
I'm looking at the pictures behind you right now, man. I mean, come on.
Wow.
No, you are right. You are true. You are correct. Listen, I'm sure she knows whatever she knows, but at the same time, and I'm actually pretty open with her. Like the other day, it was we were in the car, and I don't want to embarrass my daughter, so I'm not going to say what happened. But I said something to her I didn't think anything of. I thought I was being casual about it, trying not to offend her in front of my dad, and just trying to get the message across to her. And then later on, my dad was like, "I can't believe you said that in front of me. That must have totally embarrassed her." And I went and talked to her later. I'm like, "Listen, what did I embarrass you?" She's like, "No." I'm like, "Okay, I just want to make sure because I want to be able to talk to you about things, but I also don't want you to feel embarrassed about things." But I mean, there's just things like that I don't feel like she needs to be exposed to yet. Yeah, she probably knows a lot of stuff. She listen. She stopped talking to this boy that she was talking to. I have to think there's a reason behind that, but I've already talked to her.
Dirty Sanchez. That's the reason.
But I've already talked to her. I mean, the most important thing, nowadays, kids nowadays are different than when we were kids. They all have cell phones. I feel like, especially with my job, I know a big thing is, sending and receiving nudes and stuff like that. And I'm like, that's one thing I've been totally honest with my daughter. I'm like, you can't do that, and you can't get it from someone else. And if you do, you need to let us know, and stuff like that.
Well,
we definitely sat both of our kids down as soon as they had a cell phone. Hey, here's the deal. The cell phone's in our name. Any pictures you take of yourself are illegal. You're breaking the law taking them. You're breaking the law sending them. You're breaking the law. The person that receives them is breaking the law. And if they send them to you, my name is on that phone. I'm somehow breaking the law if it's on your phone under my name. Do not send that shit. Do not look at that shit. Do not, look at 18 is the age that shit is, and then, the cardinal rule is don't put your face in the pic. You're going to send a dick pic. Just keep your face out of it. Yeah,
keep your face out of it, right?
I know Vinnie and Mike, you both learned that lesson the hard way.
I usually dress my dick up before I take a picture of it. I'm not an animal, okay? I'm not an animal.
But, I mean, that's a conversation you have to have with a kid now. It's crazy. I mean,
it is.
And obviously, that's not something I had to worry about as a kid.
No. And I mean, I remember sneaking, like, I had a thing of Playboys behind a dresser in my room from when I was when I moved down here, 11, 12, 13, and like, that was the thing, I remember a lot of stuff about my childhood with in regards to coming into my own sexuality and everything. But at the same time, like, back to your point, Jeremy, I just feel like I'm trying to be as protective as possible. Like, it's weird though. America is a lot different than Europe from what I hear. Like, in Europe, they're much more free with their sexuality and much more limited on their violence. Like, here, it's exactly the opposite. You can speak to that with your kids. I mean, the younger one of yours, he's kind of a psychopath and I love him, but like, he loves violence. Okay. Like, he'll watch all the horror movies, but he's afraid of the horror movies too. So like, it's that dynamic. And so, I mean, we just watched the other day. We watched the most recent The Thing from 2011 with Sophie, and we watched the 1982 John Carpenter one. And so we check on the parents, guys. We just check to make sure there's not too much inappropriate language, not too much, no nudity, hopefully, that kind of thing. Like, I understand
inappropriate language. I'm pretty sure you were the first person to curse around either one of my kids.
Oh God, yeah.
Oh, I'm sure
the language thing. Yeah.
What the hell?
Language thing I didn't care about that much. Because she heard it a lot, at home between me and her mom and whatever. But she never used that language, so it was a thing. Like, it's something that you don't do. It's just one of the things. One of the many things you tell your kids not to do.
Yeah, it's another conversation to have. Hey, what's appropriate? What isn't? When is something okay? When
exactly.
Isn't?
Yeah, and if it slips out once in a while, then you sit them down and say, look, that maybe we shouldn't have been cursing in front of you like that because you're getting a little comfortable with it. But
see, my conversation was, do not say the things that your mom says. Do not say the things that I say while we're driving. None of that is okay in public.
Right. And the thing is, kids are pretty smart these days, and they do a lot of the things that their friends will be doing. That's where they're getting that's where they're most influenced, I think. Once they start getting to school and hanging out with their friends or whatever, they start doing whatever their friends are doing. And, the parents end up just being kind of monitors, to make sure that they're, going to stay alive. You try not to have them die. That becomes your job, once they start hanging out with their friends and stuff. I mean, because, let's face it, once they start leaving the house and stuff, they're out of your control, really. They can do whatever the hell they want, but hopefully they've been taught well enough at home, and that their friends have parents that were good enough to teach them the right way and teach them how to be, polite and shit like that. Things you need just to be socially acceptable, out in the world. If they learn things like that, I think the rest is,
So, God damn it, will you fucking stop cussing all the time? Isn't the way to go?
Right, no, fuck that. Yeah, shut the fuck up. And it's exactly. But
Vinnie, I would argue that making sure they don't die is probably one of the first things you should start with.
Well, yeah, I guess.
I think that's in a parenting class somewhere, but I don't know.
Yeah, I know. Child-proof the house. I know. Put the shit in the plugs. I know. I get it. Keep them alive.
I've been, Jeremy's right. I curse, I don't do, it's not excessive, but I feel like cursing is, it's, people take way too much offense to it. Like they're like, it's part of our language. It's part of our nature. I don't feel like any word should be off limits, though I do tend to stay away from the more obvious ones that are more probably racially, insensitive. But it's language. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying it's right to say things, but like, it's part of how we act. I hate changing myself, whether it's at work or somewhere else. When I'm at work nowadays, if I'm dealing with a family and, I feel I can tell how they are and I vibe with them and whatnot, I'll straight up, I'll be like, hey, you got to cut the shit or that kind of thing. You know what I mean? Just like, because that's how I'm going to relate to them. And that's they get the full point. I think there's one guy who I asked his significant other, I said, so is he an asshole? And then that got back to him. He said, oh, so you're asking if I'm an asshole? I'm like, listen, dude, you came across weird. And I said, we got it all on water under the bridge. But it was like, I feel like be real with people, because if you're just gonna be a phony, they're not gonna trust you.
Well, cursing is one thing. Cursing is cursing. They're just words, really. It depends on what context they're in, and if you're saying it to somebody, calling somebody a fucking cock. Okay, that's a little offensive, But if you're just hammering a nail, you hit your hand. Oh fuck,
sorry, Mike.
Sorry, Mike.
I'm a fucking cock is what you're saying.
I might have said it. Sorry.
Listen, I was sleeping on the couch the other day, like for a nap, because I was really tired with the surgery and the pills. I don't know. So it was like 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock. Heather comes in, the dog's barking, blah, blah, blah. And Sophie goes behind me and she tries to get this box. It was a light box, but it's a box that was standing straight up on the table right behind me where I was sleeping on the couch. And somehow it lands like right behind me on the couch. And it woke me up and I go, Sophie, what the fuck? And, listen, I don't usually say that, but I'm like, come on. Like, I mean, she's 13, you can be more careful.
Yeah.
She's telling you to shut the fuck up, you cocksucker. I'm busy here.
That's right. Listen, cockface. Don't tell me what to do.
No,
you're not my dad. You're not my real dad.
That hurts.
And Heather, shh, I told you that in private. Damn it.
No, she's never cursed in front of me, and I've never seen it in any of the texts or any of the the monitoring software we have. So
monitoring software.
Yeah, we use Bark. It's a monitoring software to monitor to make sure there's not too much craziness. I'm gonna let her have leeway. Whatever she's gonna do, what she's gonna do. She's gonna do it eventually. I'd rather not feel like she has to do stuff in secret, but at the same time, I want to make sure. But it's more like the other people, the unknowns that I don't know outside of this house, whether it's her friends or these boys, because I know how boys are. 13 years old. I was a 13-year-old boy.
You buy a gun yet?
No, I'm not a big gun fan.
Yeah, but you're saying she's talking to boys. I'm thinking about buying a gun to be just saying.
Yeah, exactly.
You are the Godfather. So.
That's what I'm saying.
No,
I mean, listen, I got other ways to, put fear into him or bury a body or something. So it's fine.
Yeah. Let me show you. Come here. Let me show you how many shovels I have.
Take one out. You're going to dig the hole.
So, I mean, that's where I'm at with the parenting. Yeah. I mean, I understand what you're saying, Jeremy, but each person's going to be a little different from the way they were raised. So who knows?
Yeah.
But let's see. So we were talking about that. So we talked about Screech. The other one who just died today. Did you guys hear the news? Christopher Plummer.
Yeah.
I've never seen Sound of Music, so that's not how I know.
Are you kidding?
No.
How have you never seen Sound of Music?
Come on.
I know. Just being a film fan, man. How the hell have you?
I know.
Yeah, really.
Heather loves it. But I've never watched it. I'm not against watching it. I've just never gotten around to watching it. How I know him is Dragnet from 1987 with Dan Aykroyd and Tom Hanks.
Are you serious?
Yes. And B, which I did see as a kid. So see, that's how my parents were. They showed me movies that I love. Yeah, Dragnet and things like that were PG-13 when I was like 7.
Dragnet, Turner and Hooch. Those are all around the same time.
The other one is he was in, what was it, Star Trek? What was it, 6? He was the Klingon with the iPad.
Oh, right. That's right. He was.
Yeah. I mean, that's how I know him. And plus, he's been in a ton of movies since then. But, that's my memories of him. I never knew him when he was that. I mean, that was what, 50, 60 years ago. So he was in his 30s then, maybe early 40s.
Yeah. I can't believe you haven't seen Sound of Music, though.
You're still on that. I know. I'll watch it. What, you want me to give you some homework?
Hurry up.
Okay, I'll stop and I'll go watch it now. We can reconvene in a few hours.
Speaking of
the movie's
going
too
back
long.
To kind of both of these, do you remember what your first R-rated movie was? Either one of you? I got mine.
Wow, that's a good question.
Mine was Boomerang in 1992, so I would have been 12, maybe.
Boomerang.
13.
You talking about the Eddie Murphy movie?
Yeah.
Wow.
Rated R.
I feel like
a nipple.
I feel like there had to be an R-rated movie that I watched when I was a kid.
Mine was I think The Godfather.
I think closely followed by Good Morning Vietnam.
Yeah. See, I saw Good Morning Vietnam when I was a kid then. So, because I saw it like when it came out on video, so the late 80s. So that was one of my first ones. I also remember seeing a movie called, I think it was called The Unnameable. So my mom, it's a horror movie. My mom must have put me and my brother in the living room up in New York. And I think she told us something like to the effect of, if there's something that you guys shouldn't be watching in this, let me know. then there's, of course, nudity in this movie with like this monster changing shape into this woman. And so like, I think we did let her know after the fact, but we thought it was funny. Kind of
I take it back. Good Morning Vietnam would have been my first one.
Yeah.
Boomerang was my first R-rated movie out of theater.
Oh, yeah.
I got in at 12, but
I think mine was actually Saturday Night Fever. I think that was the first one because it was.
Yeah, no, it was.
Yeah.
What about but Godfather came out in 74?
Well,
did you see that when it came out or no?
No. See, that's just it. I saw it after the fact. I was only 8 years old. I was only 8 years old.
The first one you saw color or black and white?
Easy. It was silent. It was a silent film.
Did you see Midnight Cowboy when it came out, Vinnie? You were what, 4?
No, I didn't. So of course, I didn't see it when it came out, but yeah, I've seen it.
You know, it was rated X at the time. That's crazy.
Yeah, it was at one point, and then they changed it.
I know. And that, I think, was Bonnie and Clyde rated X too because of the violence, the extreme violence, or am I thinking of a different movie? I know not Magnificent Seven, The Wild Bunch was rated X because of the violence. I watch it now. Yeah, it's violent, but it's I don't know.
It's not Commando violent or
Commando.
John Wick violent. Oh my God. Yeah, exactly. John Wick. Holy shit.
It is amazing how our society has gone that way with violence is fine, but sexual content is still taboo.
Oh shit.
I think that's just a function of society. I mean, you look at all these, and I don't think Jeremy's going to get offended when I say this, but you look at all these nut jobs that are so, you're taking away my rights, you're taking away my guns, and like we're a violence-driven society. But when it comes to sex, no, keep that away, keep that out of my church, keep that out of here, blah blah blah. So I mean, I just want the government out of all of it. But that's just me. I know you're a libertarian. We're finding out from this show, I guess.
He's coming out on the show.
I always thought Jeremy was much more hardcore, Republican, but hey, we found neutral ground on some issues, but we usually don't.
Fiscally, I'm a Republican.
Yeah.
Socially, not so much.
I should be fiscally a Republican. All the money I'm putting into this show, I don't know. Do I take it out of my taxes, or how does this work?
Good luck with that. I got no ideas on tax laws.
You can claim it, but I don't know how much you're going to get for it. I'm
a sole proprietor LLC, so I need to figure out.
If you're an LLC,
it's a whole different tax thing, man.
You can claim
I'm a sole proprietor, so apparently I don't have to file a separately thing. It just goes into mine. So if I'm paying for this stuff and not making money, I think that means I get more back. Maybe.
Why don't you try to get us an interview with an accountant and we can ask?
That would be. That's actually a good idea. I'll look into that. I'll look into a local one. No, for real. I'll look into a local one. But then they're probably going to want me to give them my business, and I'm like, hey.
They'll give you some guy from H&R Block whose name is Seymour, who does taxes every year during April, and he'll be the interview. Yes, I do like socks. My socks are very comfortable, and I like plaid shirts, and my wife makes good tea, and
I think we could make anyone interesting in some facet if things start taking a downturn for any point, even if one of these interviews we want to get, even if it went south, I feel like, not that we have to go crazy on it, but we can go in a totally different direction and ask him something else that's not related to whatever we're trying to interview him about, just to make him interesting or get something out of him, because that's how most of the best interviews work anyway. You get people comfortable maybe with what they're talking about, what they know about. You don't, you make sure they know you're not going to try to pull any surprises. And I'm not saying pull surprises, but like you can get stuff out of them that they might not otherwise talk about. You don't give them a list of talking points. That's why, that one interview we talked about that they were like, you should probably narrow it down to one topic. And I'm like, I get that. But at the same time, that seems like a little pre-planned, and that's not what we're about. We're a talk show, basically. Yeah. So I don't want to limit myself. But
we just spent 15 minutes talking about something that wasn't even on our list of things.
I know.
We talk about.
Exactly. You never know where you're going to go. That's the whole thing. I mean, that's the whole thing. That's the way it should be, really. I mean,
my bad.
But I remember working right before I started working for PBF over there with you, Mike. I did a little stint of AM radio, and during one of the morning shows, it's one of these damn radios you could just pay a little bit of money and you could actually get airtime. So we ended up getting this dentist that would come in, and turns out we found out he lived in his car because he pulled up in his car one day and it was full of clothes and small appliances and all kinds of shit. So exactly. So he comes in as a dentist, and we're like, okay, so I'm researching dentistry shit, things to ask him, and he starts going off on a tangent on some motivational thing, and he very rarely touched on dentistry at all. And he paid some decent money to have a show for like several weeks. Turns out he ended up not paying, but
it was just some nut job that lived in his car. He wasn't even a dentist.
Dude. It probably wasn't even a dentist. Yeah, you got a cavity, you're supposed to get it filled. Thank you, Dr. Bill DDS. Yeah, I mean, it was. But what you were saying about you get people talking in a certain way. I would have to coax him into talking about dentistry. Turns out he was a licensed dentist because we researched him, looked into his background, and he had some shady little office that was attached like a strip center. And he was quite a character.
Be more interesting if it was a strip club, but okay.
Yeah, exactly. We could change it to that.
Jeremy beat me to it. No, it's like that episode. It's like that episode of Seinfeld where he gets put to sleep and he wakes up and Bryan Cranston's a dentist. He's pulling up his pants and like adjusting himself.
Yeah, right.
He has no idea.
Right.
Oh my God, that's funny. All right. So originally, before we talked about, I said, let's talk about the thing, and Vinny's like, death again, blah blah blah. So let's say I figure we'll cover the deaths. I think that's all the deaths really we have to talk about.
Look, I know that we're going to be talking about death every show because you're obsessed with it. So
I mean, I am, but no.
And he gave me shit for the death pool conversation.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
No, listen. Okay.
Hey, let's listen to the usual saints. I really want to be brought down by death.
But hey, we make it fun. So
yes, we're making fun, of course.
Okay, so Jeremy wanted to talk about investment retirement plans. Don't know where he wants to go with that, but in regards to that, before he gets off on whatever he wants to talk about, the GameStop and Wall Street Bets and AMC thing. Have you guys been following that at all?
No, I've just been hearing talk about it.
Jeremy, I know you're a Redditor, so
yeah. I mean, I wish I had seen it ahead of time because I don't know that I would have sat there. The thing that amazes me is these people bought the stock, got the price way up there, and then their plan was to hold on to it and no one would sell it. Mm-hmm. My guess is that's not going to happen, and the price has gone down over the last couple of days. Mm-hmm. But their plan was to hold it up there and make all the hedge funds lose all their money on the short bets they made. Yeah. But the prices come down because you don't make any money if you don't sell the stock. It's great that it went up to $300 and something, but unless you can sell it, you make no money. Exactly. Now, the bigger story to me is the trading app suspending trading because the prices went up. I don't know how they're planning on justifying that.
Yeah, that was Robinhood. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry, hedge funds are losing money, but that's no reason to stop people from trading the stock. I mean, if people are willing to buy it legally, why are you stopping them? What the hell?
I mean, I think something's going to come of that, but their whole thing, and I don't think it's been talked about by them, is allegedly, according to the rumors, they were going to be out of money. And so they had to find more money, and somehow they found $1 billion by the next day or whatever. And so they started releasing some shares to be traded again. The reason I want to talk about this is I got in on this a little late, and I actually bought 2 shares of GameStop, but I bought it high. So
did you lose some money?
I lost some money. I bought it at like 350, 370. And now it's like at 80 or 90. So I only bought 2 shares. So, I mean, I'm not
use
Robinhood.
Oh, okay.
So if there's a class action lawsuit, I could be like, I should have been able to buy more. You know what I mean? But I don't know if that had ever happened. I'm a little bummed, but I'm also not selling. I bought it high. I'm stupid. So I want to see if it does anything. And if it doesn't do anything, whatever, it'll just be something that's in my investment portfolio. But I mean, what do you guys think of the power of, people, the little people, quote unquote, to get on Reddit and put their minds to it, put their money to it when what stock was $10-$20, whatever it was. And some of them become millionaires if they sold. But Jeremy's right. A lot of them, if you look at this Wall Street Bets Reddit forum, everyone's saying, they're saying diamond hands, hold, don't sell. That's their thing. And that's their whole thing. But we'll see if that actually comes to fruition. I would love it to, if I can get my 2 shares and somehow eventually their whole thing was, it'll get to 40,000. It'll never get to 40,000.
No, they had shit like that. You get a lot of inexperienced people buying stocks simply because someone else is buying it and they heard it was a good idea.
That's my theory is once you've heard about it, it's already too late to make the real money.
Exactly. So if it's making news as big as it has now, it's over. It's too late.
Yeah. So I got a 401k through work, so that's kind of my retirement. But recently I started investing small amounts of money just to kind of have some extra money on top of that out there. Yeah. And I guess some of the guys at work got real into cryptocurrencies. So I put a few $100s there, and then I put a few $100 or $1,000 into some stocks. Mm-hmm. And I'm taking wild swings. I'm buying the cheapest thing I can find that's recommended out there.
Yeah, in hopes that it'll grow. Yeah. Put
$100, I get 500 shares or something. If it goes up to, because, it's 20 cents a share. If it goes up to, $5, I just, I made $2,500 off a $100 investment, or I lose $100. Right. That's pretty much, I'm taking wild swings at shit right now.
I mean, small stuff like that. I mean, you can chip away at things like that and make some decent money,
Yeah.
So, that's good, man.
I didn't know if you guys were investing for retirement or counting on the government.
No, I'm trying to buy stock in PBR at a can at a time. So
just make sure you recycle them. Get that, what, 5 cents back each can?
Yeah, that's right.
Georgia, does Georgia pay you for the recycling?
No, Georgia don't.
Keep it in the bag. Drive to Jersey.
Yeah, Jersey.
I got my I had I should have had a pension plan, but since I used to work for where I work now, and then I quit and took the money out, and then I went back, I can't rejoin the pension plan. So I have to join the investment plan. Yeah, it's a real bummer because the pension plan would have been nice, right? The investment plan. So basically, I'm in a 401k. So I just let them do whatever they're doing with my money. But I also have for my previous jobs, and I couldn't roll it over into my current employer for some reason. So I have a IRA there, and I've been putting $6,000 in a year there and just letting the experts do what they do. It grows a little bit here and there, but I'm hoping, I do put money away. I'm hoping, but I mean, we're not all millionaires like some people in this Zoom chat. So we can't just throw hundreds of thousands of dollars at a,
working on it. Not there yet. Working on it.
And I don't even look rich, do I?
Jeremy's talking about buying stocks that are low. He bought like 500 shares of Tesla is what he's talking about. And now he's a millionaire.
Tesla's a little late to get in. That's Amazon. Seems like it's a little late to the party. That's great that they're doing well. It's a little late to go buy it.
Yeah, those shares are a little expensive. Yeah.
Yes. So that's kind of where I'm at. I mean, I hope I'm going to be okay. I would love to retire early, but I mean, I don't know if it'll ever happen. If I can get everything paid off and, somehow live comfortably, great. But, if I do what I love, I don't think that's the case now. No offense to if my employer does find this, I do my job. I do it well, but is it what I love and what I want to do for the rest of my life?
Hell no.
I mean, shit. After after my car accident, I was hoping to be set up because a semi hit us and, hurt us. And, we're damaged physically and mentally. Honestly, I have PTSD still. But I mean, we're damaged for life, scarred for life. But I was hoping to be set up so I could put, just open a small little dive bar, make it a Steelers bar, have fun, that kind of thing. It hasn't happened yet. Maybe I'll get there eventually.
You could have just said Steelers bar. You didn't have to tell us it was a dive bar. We would have known.
Jeremy's talking about that. Jeremy's talking shit because Tom Brady's gonna be playing in the Super Bowl. I guess today, since we'll be releasing this on Sunday.
That impression of me.
No, it's just a fucking.
Okay.
That's a fan of Tom Brady.
Fan. Brady fan. Yeah.
Sorry, I'm never gonna be a Tom Brady fan. He's a little bitch at the tuck rule. Oh, I fell down on the ground.
Yeah.
That guy
He's not a real man. He's not a real man that rapes women like your guy.
That's right. Damn it! You better believe it.
No
Get over here, wench.
No charges.
No charges.
I'm Roethlisberger. Get over here.
That's the answer every time. No charges. Okay.
Right. There were no charges.
OJ was innocent too. OJ was innocent.
OJ was charged.
He was innocent though. He was found innocent. He went to trial. Come on.
Were there even any civil cases against Roethlisberger? I don't recall anything. Payoffs, I don't know. But.
Hopefully, he
payoffs, I'm sure. Yeah, they were handled out of court. Trust me.
And Ben Roethlisberger, if you ever hear this, I'm not saying this is maybe the opinions of the other two guys. I'm a big fan of yours.
I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan. Doesn't mean he's not a douche.
Yeah, I know. Listen,
he was accusations were there. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I know. He was. Listen, I'm not making any excuses, and I'm not. Especially not one to downplay accusations of women, especially, and not that it was ever right to do before him, but especially in this climate, you look at the accusations against Marilyn Manson that just came out recently from Evan Rachel Wood. She basically identified him as her, mentally and physically torturing her throughout their relationship and raping her when they were in a relationship, and is that these things come out years later because it takes a lot of courage to come out, and I don't know if it's true, but apparently 5 or 6 women have come out, and you can't discount what they say. It's not to say that Marilyn Manson's necessarily guilty, but if 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 people it starts building and building, maybe there's something to that. So I don't know.
No, I agree. Enough people come out about it. You can't just blatantly say no, it didn't happen.
Yeah.
Plus, we weren't there. I don't know. Somebody accuses somebody of something else. I don't know what the fuck happened. You got to take somebody for their word. Why would she come up, make something up like that? And does she even know these other 5 women, that she could have collaborated with and say, hey, let's fuck this guy and say he raped us, So,
But I mean, at this point, are you really fucking Marilyn Manson? I mean, the biggest thing he has going for him now is being a guest star on American Gods on Stars. That's the biggest thing. Like, his label dropped him. Trent Reznor came out against him. Wes Borland, who isn't even relevant anymore, but he was a big guitarist with Limp Bizkit and Marilyn Manson, back in the day. They came out, saying he's an asshole.
He's done. He's done.
People who lost their career this week. Did you guys see the country artist? The video
I wanted to talk about him. What was his name? Morgan Wallen?
Morgan Wallen had the #1 album for like 3 weeks straight, and then this video came out.
What did he do?
Yeah, but he dropped
video of he dropped a few of them. He's outside his house after a night out, and somebody has a video on their door camera of him yelling the N-word at people.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
And
was he holding a solo cup? Was he holding a solo cup?
Yeah. He's a country star, Vinny, if you don't know who he is. He's the same guy who was supposed to be, I think, on the season premiere of Saturday Night Live, I think, or maybe one of the first few episodes. And well, no, this was the beginning of the TV season, last September, October, November. He broke the quarantine rules, like, blatantly. He went out partying, and they found out about it, and they said, nope, you're not welcome, and they found someone else to replace him.
I think last year he got arrested for drunk and disorderly as well.
Yeah, so I mean, he might have some issues.
This guy's a piece of shit. That's what he is.
Yeah. But the thing is, and it's really shitty, his album sales went up since that news came out.
Did they really?
Yeah, wow. and that I saw that on Sean King. He's a journalist. I don't know if you guys know who he is. He's a black journalist. He's really obviously in touch with that. But I mean, obviously, this guy's dropping M-bombs and things like that. So he talked about that. He said that's not surprising to him at all, because this is pretty much a racist country. And I agree with that to an extent. I know we've touched on it before. I'm not, I don't think any of us three are racist, but
no.
This country, man, I mean, we're not going to go back to it, but I mean, just look at all the Trump supporters, look at the rioting, look at the craziness. And, like I said, we're not going to go back and harp on what we've already harped on, but I think there's something to it. Like, if I don't know if people are buying it just because they're hearing about it and are curious. Like, are they looky-loos, but they're spending $15 on an album, or what? But I don't know. I don't know what would make people buy an album all of a sudden because they hear he's dropping M-bombs. But
yeah, well, you don't really know if that's why they're buying it. I mean, it sounds like that's why they're buying it, but I don't know, man.
He was getting a lot of airplay. I listen to country music. He was before this happened.
Yeah,
I believe the stations I listen to have pulled him completely.
Jeremy's like, oh, he said what? Oh, let me put that on right now.
Hold on, let me turn that on right now. Hot damn.
That's my kind of guy.
Goddamn right. Let me get my can of Skol out and rub my nuts with it. So
you just offended literally everyone Jeremy works with, I think, with the Skol comments.
I can't do. I'm not man enough to do Skol, man. I put it in my lip and I throw up.
Oh, gross, dude!
I can't even. People walking around with spit bottles and stuff. I can't stand that.
That's disgusting. If you're going to use a spit thing, don't use a clear plastic bottle. Yeah. Could you use a can? I mean, come on.
I used to have when I worked at the movie theaters. We used to have courtesy cups, right? Jeremy, I don't know if you had it when we worked at the same theater. Yeah. Guys would come in and be like, "Hey, can I get a courtesy cup?" And they usually want water, and we'd be like, "Whatever, fine," or some ice. I have a handful at least that I can recall of guys that would ask for a courtesy cup so they can spit their dip in it, while they're in the theater. And you know what? They wouldn't pick it up when they would leave. They just leave it on the floor there. So you go and clean up the theater, and there'd just be cups of spit, gross shit next to their seats, and they just don't care. Sometimes it'd be spilled, and what do they care? They don't have to clean it up. So that's the kind of people that I associate with that, and that's not going to be all of them. But when I hear someone dips, that's what I associate with, because that's my experience with it.
Right. Well, what's going to happen? Going back to the guy with the N-bombs. I mean, he's done. He's got that reputation now. It doesn't matter if his record sales go up because a bunch of backward-ass country fucks are buying them. But he's done. His popularity is for shit now, except for with those people. So,
well, we'll see what happens. Time will tell. Whether it's a short
way back for someone like that.
Any way back? I mean, it's tough, man. When you do that, look what happened to Kramer. Remember he did the N-Bob thing. He's on stage and he started using the N-word, yelling at people, calling them the N-word and all this kind of shit. And he went on the tour of apologies. He got Al Sharpton and, Jesse Jackson and, apologized and went on radio and stuff and apologized and everything. Have you seen him again at all, except for, comedians in cars getting coffee with Jerry Seinfeld? I mean, of course, he's going to throw him a bone. But that guy became a pariah immediately after that, even after all the apologies and, the tour of sadness, But, I mean, when you say shit like that, I mean, you should pay the price. You should be held accountable. And when you're a star or you're in front of a lot of people like that, you got to have a certain, a certain way of, I don't know. I'm looking for the word.
What are you looking for, gravitas or something?
Yeah, I don't know. You got to act a certain way when you're in the public eye like that, and to go out and say something like that and then expect to be accepted again as you were before. I mean, I think that's, delusional.
I find it interesting that's harder to come back from than maybe beating your wife or your husband.
Yeah.
Being physically violent to someone. You can come back from that.
I agree.
Where you can't come back from a racial slur like that.
Well, look what happens in the NFL. These guys, these guys in the NFL beating their girlfriends and their wives and shit or whatever they do. And, they're still playing ball,
They're kids.
Yeah, exactly.
I feel like you can say, I feel like, and I'm not a professional and I don't know that everyone thinks this, but I feel like if you drop an N-bombs that freely, I feel like that people can think that is more of an ingrained thing. And it's not just like an isolated incident. It's not like an addiction. It's not an abuse mentality kind of thing. Although it is an abuse mentality because you're abusing someone else by using that language, I guess. Even though I said, I think all language should be acceptable, it is because of our society. That's basically what you're doing. When you're talking about physical abuse, again, horrible, not a great thing at all, whether it's women, kids, men, doesn't matter. But I feel like people think there's therapy. There's things like that. Is there therapy to come back from being a racist? I think that maybe that's why it might be harder to come back from. But I mean, it's the same vein as why is Mel Gibson? Why does he still have a career? You know, the things he said about Jewish people, about black people, the things he said to I think it was his girlfriend at the time, you know, in those voicemails that are still played all over the place that went viral, you know, how does he still have a career?
It's amazing to me that some of these politicians who've been around for 40 years or whatever, some of those things they said and did back in the 70s or some of them even the 60s, but they were still able to stay in Congress for their careers. Some of them are dead now, but some of those guys were around in the 50s when some of these laws and some of these debates were happening, and somehow they survived. I don't know if it's just kind of the fact that the media is 24/7 and everywhere now. It makes a difference that those guys were able to get away with that now.
I think it's that. Now. I think it's that, and the climate of the times back then. I mean, I think media has a lot to do with it. The 24/7, the instant, you know, the instant response and the instant news about something. Back then, you know, all you had was 3 networks on TV, and you know, you couldn't find out things. And then again, the media would only let you know what they wanted you to know.
Well, he got caught by a Ring camera. I mean, those didn't exist. Everybody didn't have a phone in their pocket. You can't, you know, you can't get away with as much as you could in the past.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think you're talking about, and I don't know if you're referencing him specifically, but the name that comes to mind when the shit you're talking about, Jeremy, is Strom Thurmond. I mean, that dude was a senator or a representative for until what, the 90s, the 2000s. That's I mean, that's not like it was that long. Yeah. Okay. It was 20, 30 years ago, but in relative history, it wasn't that long ago. People knew that dude was a straight up racist prick, and they kept electing him. And that's why I'm saying, like, that's the country. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. And that just goes back to that issue. So I don't know. I mean, it's
some of those guys, you know, they, you know, being friends with the leader of the Ku Klux Klan, you can still get away with that somehow if you're a politician. I don't get that at all.
Right.
I mean, that kind of leads into Marjorie Taylor Greene, which is one of the things, not that she's friends with the KKK thing, but she's also taking pictures with that was
Biden who was on stage with him.
Anyway,
ouch.
Marjorie Taylor Greene, the QAnon conspiracy theorist who believes in the frazzle drip and all that kind of stuff. That's the one where I think Hillary Clinton and Huma Abedin, or the wife of Anthony Weiner, ex-wife now, they would kill kids and drink their blood, and somehow it would drip, and that's why it was frazzle drip. I don't know. So she believed in that, and she believed that the Parkland school shooting was staged, and she believed all this stuff. And thank God the House stripped her of her committee assignments. She's still an elected representative from is it Georgia? I don't know. Is it?
Yeah.
Okay. So she's still an elected representative from Georgia. So she got there legally, and she's going to stay there throughout her term unless she does some crazy shit where they can somehow get her out. But I don't even know what's involved with that for House of Representatives. That's only 2 years, though. So, but I mean, she was going to be on the education board. She was going to have another. I mean, she had these assignments, and it's crazy to me that people are not denouncing her. And she's trying to walk back all her statements now. She's saying, oh, I believe in school shootings. I believe 9/11 actually happened, when there's recordings of her saying that was not what she believed. When she's like, I let QAnon make me believe it. Like, you're the one who read it, lady. You were an adult. It's not like you were a kid. You weren't, you know, it's just, I don't know. It's crazy to me.
Stupid is as stupid does. Yeah. Forrest Gump knew what he was talking about.
Forrest Gump, he accomplished a lot. I still haven't shown that to Sophie either, probably because of the whole Gen A sex scene. But
seriously,
oh my god, you don't see anything?
It's rated. No, it's rated PG-13. It's rated PG-13. We probably will watch it. She doesn't have a lot of interest. She's all into anime now. Like since Christmas break, her and her friends, her friend watched anime constantly. So that's what Sophie does now, totally, all the time. But I did get her to watch Troll yesterday. Have either of you seen Troll? And this is from 1986, so it's an old movie. You guys ever heard of that?
Heard of it, but never watched it.
Okay, so it's like this low budget, shitty movie. It's got some actors in it you might know. It actually has. You guys have seen a Never Ending Story, so it has, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So it has Atreyu from Neverending Story, the warrior adventurous kid. He's in the movie. It's 2 years after that. But and then there's Michael Moriarty. He was in Law and Order and things like that.
And the Pale Rider.
Huh?
Michael Moriarty. Was he in the Pale Rider? I think he was in Pale Rider.
What the hell is that?
Pale Rider, the Clint Eastwood movie. Pale Rider. He's fucking.
Pale Rider.
What do you think I was saying?
I thought he said piano.
Yeah.
Piano Rider? The goddamn Piano Rider.
What the hell is he talking about?
Your thick Georgia accent. I couldn't tell.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, I never seen Pale Rider, but he was in it. So anyway, it's this low budget movie. You know what shocked me totally? And Jeremy, you'll get a kick out of this. Do you know what the name of Michael Moriarty's character, the dad's character, is in the movie?
No.
Do you want to know? Okay, I was waiting for it now. Harry Potter. And then Atreyu's name in the movie is Harry Potter Jr. And you know what the movie's about? Trolls and witches and princesses and magic. I thought there was like a whole thing there because J.K. Rowling was living in her fucking car at that time. So I think she went to a theater.
Mike, are you hard? Are you hard right now?
Why would I be hard right now?
You were very excited about talking about that fucking movie just now.
I just think
shit.
No, I just think it's crazy because like I feel like that's a total copyright thing. But Warner Brothers
sued a couple times. I don't know if there was anybody there, but
I don't think not by them. The only thing I read an article from 2015. The only thing they wanted to do, and I don't think it ever came to fruition, was they wanted to make an animated remake of that movie, but they were afraid Warner Brothers was going to sue them. But Warner Brothers can't copyright the name Harry Potter. But it's just so much coincidence there. But Warner Brothers is like ready, guns blazing, like, yeah, fuck you, you're gonna make that movie. We're gonna shut that shit down. But like, I don't know. Like there was a lot there. Like I feel like something should have come of that, but I was really just shocked. That's all. I had no idea. I was watching the movie the other day, and it just for the shits and giggles because it was something I could watch with Sophie, and they start talking about Harry Potter, and then start talking about witches and trolls, and I'm like, what the fuck?
Wow.
It just got, I'm a Harry Potter fans. Jeremy got me into it, so. It was just shocking to see that the other day. I thought I assume no one has seen it. So, but
who's to say she didn't lift those names? I mean, obviously, if they were around before she wrote her shit,
that's what I would think. But you have to prove it. So I don't know if they can do that. But that goes to Green Lantern. I watched Green Lantern the other day. That movie is not as bad as people give it the rap for. Have either of you seen that movie?
The original Green Lantern with
Ryan Reynolds.
Reynolds. Yeah.
So you got to give a little more detail on these notes. I'm like, what the fuck is he talking about? Green Lantern? Because there's a TV show of Green Lantern right now, isn't there?
I don't know. Is there?
I think so. Well, it used to be. DC shows. It used to be a show with Bruce Lee. Bruce Lee was in it.
That was the Green Hornet.
That was Green Hornet.
Yeah, him too. Him too.
Vinnie's Alzheimer's is kicking in.
Yeah, no shit. I forgot to take my dementia pills.
He's like, yeah, the Green Lantern with Bruce Lee.
That's some funny shit right there.
If you guys have any questions about the notes I put on the list, feel free to ask.
Obviously, I have some questions about Green Hornet now.
Well, no, I've never seen the original, and I've never seen the new ones with what's his name, Seth Rogen. Never saw those either.
Yeah, no.
But I just was shocked. Like I watched it because it was on my DVR list, and it was. I'd go as far as to say good. I mean, this is Ryan Reynolds at the end of Deadpool 2. He does a thing. I don't know if you guys seen Deadpool 2. In the credits, he shoots himself while he's reading the Green Lantern script. Like he has a time travel device, and he goes back in time, and he has his old self, and he's like, "Man, this is going to be a great movie." And you hear pop, and he's like, "Yeah, avoided that one."
That's good. That's a good one.
I just was so shocked. I thought it was decent, especially for a DC film, because like a lot of the DC films, Batman vs Superman, I wasn't a huge fan of. They're not Marvel.
Been able to get their shit together compared to Marvel at all.
No, because they don't have a creative mind like Kevin Feige, behind them. They try to have Zack Snyder do. I don't Feige. I don't know. They try to, and he at the beginning, he had to report to someone. He had to report to Ike Perlmutter, who was the head of Marvel. But then once Marvel Cinematic Universe started taking off, something, whether it was the board, I don't know. Somehow Kevin got his control, so he runs that shit now. So if you had a Kevin Feige, whatever, if you had him, if he could cross boundaries and run both of those universes, think of the amazing comic book movies we would get on both sides. I mean, he already has his plate full, but I mean,
they got X-Men back, and they got a bunch of stuff.
Yeah,
to bring in now.
Yeah, but I mean,
just the shit that's going to get introduced.
Yeah, but I mean, this goes back to one of our first episodes, like comic books. I mean, think of how amazing it would be, and I have fond memories of the Christopher Reeve Supermans. I enjoyed to an extent the later Supermans, but I mean, think how amazing like a DC universe run by someone with his mind, Kevin Feige's mind. I mean, think of that Batman. Excluding Nolan's Batmans, because I love Nolan's Batmans, but
just need who's the character from Mallrats? Obsessed with
shit
superhero genitalia.
What's the damn it? Oh, Brody.
That scene is hilarious. Kevin or Stan Lee just looking at him like, what the fuck is wrong with you, kid?
What about the Hulk's dork? Why do the pants get bigger? How does they stay on? All right, but I mean that's all I was talking about with that. I mean, I was shocked, and I tweeted, I didn't expect any response. I tweeted hashtag unpopular opinion, and I included Ryan Reynolds' Twitter handle on it, and I was like, I thought it was a good movie. I know he's disowned it and he's not a fan, but I don't know. I didn't think it was as bad as I thought it was going to be. It had a lot of good actors in it. It had Mark Strong. I don't know if you guys know who he is. He's not a British actor. He's a bald guy, but he's got this like real gravitas voice, and you know his voice if you heard it. It had
not the guy from Gone in 60 Seconds, is it?
Shit, I saw that once, dude. I saw that movie once. It might have been. He was in Sherlock Holmes, the first one with Robert Downey Jr. Did you see that one? No. Okay. Who else was in it? Boba Fett was in it. The new Boba Fett, who played all the clone troopers. Tamura Morrison. He was in it, playing an alien. Jeffrey Rush's voice was in it. They did a lot of CG, obviously. I think Michael Clark Duncan. I didn't look at the credits. He is a real deep voice guy. Sounded like Michael Clark Duncan, but it was a big dude. So obviously, I immediately go Michael Clark Duncan, but I don't know because it was an alien. But it had Blake Lively, obviously. Did you guys know Blake Lively had a nose job? I had no idea. But then I look at the before and after pics. My wife is very obsessed with that. She was like, I'm a fan of Blake Lively before her nose job. And I looked, I'm like, oh yeah, I see. Okay, I get it.
Yeah.
It's not like a Jennifer Grey transformation, right?
No, and Jennifer Grey, I just watched.
She don't even look like the same person, man.
No, she doesn't.
Wow.
She blames that nose job for her not having any work anymore. I mean, she was in what? She was in Red Dawn, Ferris Bueller, Dirty Dancing, and some other things. And then pop, gone after the nose job.
Yeah, gone after the nose job. Yeah.
I just watched that the other day. What shit? Movies That Made Us. You guys watched that on Netflix? Yeah, the Dirty Dancing.
About it one episode.
Yeah, I watched that.
You guys made fun of me for watching the Dirty Dancing one.
No, I hadn't got around to it.
Yes,
we did.
Yes,
no, we did.
I'm a Dirty Dancing fan, so fuck you. I know I didn't make fun of you.
Don't put baby in a corner, goddammit.
Interesting as hell, wasn't it?
It was. No, I enjoyed it. I watched all of them. I've watched the holiday ones. I watched that one. I've watched most of the Toys That Made Us. I don't watch the Barbie one because I have no care to.
Brings back too many memories.
Oh, Barbie's hot. What, are you kidding me?
No, but I just don't care to know. I don't know. They make them funny though.
What is it?
So that's
Barbara Millicent. What's her last name?
Roberts.
I forget this.
Isn't it Roberts?
Trivia. Maybe Barbara Millicent Roberts. That sounds right.
I don't know. My daughter did a report on her. I could probably call her.
We used to do a lot of trivia. That question comes up all the damn time. Just like
Vinnie ever
the name
did.
of the dog. The name of the dog on the Cracker Jack box.
I call her Baby.
What's the name of the dog on Cracker Jack box?
Bingo.
Bingo.
We used to do trivia every week, Vinnie.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. No, I did too. I did trivia for a while.
I mean, at one point, we were doing it 3 nights a week.
Oh, shit. You guys were addicted.
We were hardcore. We were entering contests.
Was it at one place or 3 different places?
3 different
places.
Oh, holy shit.
Was that during the contest, though? It had to be. Okay. Yeah, there's a contest for, was it like a grand or something like that? But so we'd go.
Oh, well, that's worth it.
Yeah. Yeah, we came in
we
third,
each
second,
spent like $3,000 in Applebee's food over that course. But of course,
just to get a little bit back.
That's right.
I'm pissed at Applebee's too. I'm pissed at Applebee's again, and this has nothing to do with the decade ago, Jeremy.
I hate fucking Applebee's.
Just me too. Wear the shirt again?
No, Vinnie doesn't know that story. Why don't you tell that story?
We'll tell that next time.
No, this is time. What? We don't. You want to run out of time? We'll only be going an hour plus. You gotta, but no, you can't say why I hate Applebee's without telling.
So Mike likes his T-shirts, that talk, Yeah. Again, his daughter isn't allowed to hear cursing, but he was wearing a shirt with like
she was 2 or 1 at the time,
and it says, "What the fuck did you just call me?" And someone in the restaurant got offended and wanted him to take it off, and the manager came over and tried to make him take it off or turn it inside out or something to that effect.
Oh,
or leave.
Yeah, and what happened?
I mean, I went out. I went outside. I grabbed my Steelers hoodie from the car, took off my shirt, put the hoodie on, just the hoodie, so I had no shirt on, and I unzipped it like basically all the way down to my belly button. And I walked into the store like that, and that's how I finished.
Looked like you guys seen that comedian Bert Kreischer or whatever? That's about what it looked like.
I don't know who that is though. But on the way when I'm walking back into the restaurant,
he's funny as hell.
Okay. I'm walking back into the restaurant, and the lady who complained came up to me because she was leaving. She's like 80, 90 years old. And she's like, "Just so you know, I'm the one that complained about it." I'm like, "Okay, go fuck yourself."
Yeah. Thanks a lot, lady. There's a fucking car waiting to hit you in the fucking parking lot.
So that was why I was upset with them.
She's got nothing to complain about except your fucking shirt.
Yeah. And listen, no, Jeremy, give me this, by the way.
You know what? She probably shit her pants twice while she was eating, and she's worried about your fucking shirt. That's just ridiculous.
Jeremy, give me this. When I would go into restaurants the whole time we were doing trivia, if I ever was wearing one of my more offensive shirts, would I not like cross my arms and try to hold? I don't want kids to like read the words and ask like, "Oh fuck, what's fuck?" I'm
gonna be honest with you, Mike.
You don't remember?
I couldn't have given less of a fucking. I would never fucking notice that. Really?
I recall
pay that much attention to you.
I think you do. Yes, honestly. Wow. I mean, you were single at the time.
Someone might be an egomaniac. I'm just saying.
You can't be crossing your arms when you're wearing a shirt like that, man. You're supposed to wear that shirt. If you're gonna put that shirt on, man, you wear that fucker. You fucking leave your arms out like this. Go, yeah. This is my shirt.
I've retired them since. I retired them for a few years, and then recently I ran out of room because I have so many other T-shirts that I've retired all my T-shirt hell shirts, and I gave them. I actually gave them to Goodwill. I wonder if they did anything with them.
Oh yeah, they burned them fuckers.
There was a horse one too that was pretty expensive.
The horse one was great. It's a horse hanging from a rope, a noose.
That's right.
Nice.
Hung like
so it's like hung like a horse.
Please, for the love of God, if you have any more of those, send them to me.
I've already sent them to Goodwill. I'm sorry. There's one with a lady on a bed on all fours and a horse behind her, and it says, "May the horse be with you."
You should have given that one to the fucking lady who complained to you. There you go. Go in here, enjoy this shirt, ma'am. This was made especially for you. And by the way, who chewed your food for you tonight before you swallowed it? Get the fuck out of my face, you codger.
Remember the worst one, Jeremy? Probably, I think. You remember the worst one? The prevent teen pregnancy one?
Oh, no.
What is that?
It said prevent teen pregnancy, and then smaller letters beneath it said fuck a 12-year-old, and then it said smaller letters below that. It said, but only if she's been 12 for less than 3 months.
What the fuck? Oh my God.
See, so sorry,
they put that on a T-shirt. They put that on a T-shirt.
Oh, it was great. That was my favorite.
That's just disgusting, man.
Oh,
and he had a little daughter at the time. I'm just saying.
Yeah. God, man. That's bad.
I got a dark sense of humor, and so I laughed about it.
That's
anyway, so back to Applebee's.
That's too far.
Okay.
I ordered from your company again, Vinnie, this week, DoorDash.
There you go.
And so I don't think it was their problem unless the guy didn't pick up a bag. But
again, you got another fucking complaint?
Yes, listen. It was 3 meals. My daughter ordered an appetizer because she always ordered the pretzels. My wife ordered a meal and I ordered a meal. One of the 3 meals wasn't in the bag. Guess whose meal it wasn't? Mine.
Yours.
Mine wasn't. So we call up Applebee's just like we did when Ruby Tuesdays did the same thing. They forgot something on our menu, and I'm like, yeah, you guys forgot my wife called. You forgot our husband's meal. My husband's meal. They're like, oh, sorry. If you want to drive up here and get it, you can.
What the fuck is that?
Yes, exactly. And then my wife's like, we're not, she told me, I'm like, I can't drive. I'm not going up there. And she's like, she told him that. He's like, oh, well, you'll have to contact DoorDash. Like literally 0 customer service from Applebee's.
That's bullshit. That's bullshit.
And so, yeah, we contacted DoorDash. They credited us $16 immediately. But the problem was, it was a credit to the account. So like, it's not like it's a refund to my credit card. It's a credit to DoorDash. And so, yeah. So I wound up contacting the manager the next morning at Applebee's. And I said, hey, listen, buddy, this isn't really cool. You guys got my money and I got nothing. That's basically stealing. And he's like, he asked what the last 4 of my credit card were. I gave it to him. He said, oh, I don't see anything. DoorDash must have paid, and so we can't help you at all. I said, are you kidding me? I said, you guys got my money. You're telling me that's DoorDash's problem. He's like, yeah. I'm like, okay. So I gave up on him.
So DoorDash probably pays from their account and you pay them.
Yes, exactly.
Right,
yeah.
exactly.
So he doesn't have any record of your credit card.
Exactly. Right. But the thing is, when that happened at Ruby Tuesdays last week or 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, whatever it was, when they forgot to put cheese on my parents' burgers and they forgot our appetizer, I talked to the manager. The manager was like, listen, I'm sorry. I can do 1 of 2 things. I can either comp all your meal when you come in next time. I said, listen, I've been to your Ruby Tuesdays before. You guys aren't social distancing. I know you're not required to because of the stupid governor we have, but I'm not really going to eat at your restaurant right now. And she's like, that's fine. She's like, well, I can also refund your breadsticks that you're missing, but in all honesty, I probably just refund your meal. And that's what she did. She literally refunded the whole thing, just basically voided the transaction. I didn't want that. I would have been happy with just getting my credit back, but the manager at the Applebee's just did shit for me. So I called corporate. So I called corporate. I'm like, this isn't really cool. And this manager did nothing. And he said, that's the policy, that he can't do anything. And she's like, oh, well, we'll escalate this to the franchise manager. You should be hearing from them. And by the way, I haven't heard from them. And it's been a few days. So
you're not going to fucking hear from them.
Hey, Vinny, this brings me to another topic that have we decided exactly how we're going to refer to Mike as his female or male Karen character? I mean, is it Chad?
Was it Karen or?
It's not Karen. It's Chad or Kyle. Which one do we want to go with?
Kyle sounds good.
Kyle, I'm good with Kyle.
Or Kaylee.
All right.
Can we name Kaylee?
Yeah, I know a Kaylee. She's nice. So
all right, let's go with Kyle. I know Kyle. I know Kyle. He's a douchebag. So
we can have this can be Mike's segment every week. His Kyle segment of the week.
Kyle's segment. Kyle, tell us who you got fucked by this week. What Applebee's did you go to this time?
Listen, it's gonna be Chili's. He's done Ruby Tuesdays, Applebee's. Chili's is the next logical progression.
Chili's is the next progression, right?
I hate Chili's. Jeremy knows that. We went to Chili's a few weeks ago, and they wouldn't put 2 tables together for us because they're like, oh, that would violate our COVID protocols. And then, you know what they did? They sat us at a big 6-person booth in between 2 other 6-person booths, which were crowded with 8 to 10 people, probably at least. And so they were just. The COVID protocol. What COVID protocol? You're sitting us in the middle of this fucking restaurant that's crowded as shit. And so we turned around. We're like, yeah, we're leaving. And I forget where we.
My 13-year-old said no.
Maybe you should have worn your pregnancy T-shirt to that event. That would have cleared that whole fucking area out, and you would have had it by yourself. You would have been there by yourself. You, Jeremy, everybody.
Again, unfortunately, I gave it to Goodwill. They probably have me on security camera. And
Goodwill, they got choppers flying over your house every night.
I did hear one the other night.
Is he still in his house? Make sure that fucker doesn't go out.
Oh my god, dude. All right.
That's probably a good spot.
That's probably a good spot. I mean, I know we got more stuff to talk about. We could save it for next week.
Well, what else was on the list? I mean, Jesus Christ.
Well, I mean, if we talk about it, we're going to cover it, and we can probably cover it in a few minutes. We just go.
Well, what is it, though? I just want to know what they are, just so I can prepare.
Don't you have access to the list, Vinny?
Yeah, I do. I just don't feel like pressing buttons. I've been pressing buttons all day. I'm fucking done.
Oh, wait. But speaking of that, Vinny, so Sinclair's your client. You don't work for them, right?
No, I work for Encompass, and Sinclair's their client.
Okay. I hate Sinclair.
Sinclair owned where you worked, right?
Yeah, that was horrible.
Right.
Yeah, Sinclair's very.
Let's not get Vinnie fired to week one.
Yeah, exactly.
Sinclair's a great company.
They are fantastic.
A bunch of conservative assholes.
Moving on.
Escape rooms, Jeremy wanted to talk about. We are doing 2 escape rooms tomorrow. I wish you were here, Vinnie. Have you ever done one?
My bedroom is I have to escape my room every day. What are you talking about? Escape room.
Oh, I thought that was just the women.
Yeah, just the women.
It's like a horror movie.
Play a game.
Yes. Why is this bolted from this?
What the hell? Yeah, they leave and lock me in.
Wait, Vinnie, you've never done an escape room?
No, I've never done one. I've known people that have, and they said they're really great, but I've never participated.
They're a good time.
I'm claustrophobic, man. If I can't get out, something's getting broken.
So about the first 40 minutes, me and Mike are real good about making sure the kids are involved because our kids go with us. Yeah. And then after that, me and Mike just say, fuck it and do what we can to get the fuck out of the room.
Exactly. Yeah.
No offense, Jeremy. I guess we could just be totally honest because this is a safe space, right, guys? I can say whatever the fuck I want. Okay.
Oh, sure.
I only do that when I'm with you and your kids. When it's me and my wife and my kid, I don't do that shit. I get the fuck done as fast as I can. But no, I try to. And I'm not. Listen, Chris and Jeff, good kids, smart kids. I just hate waiting. I hate including.
Might be a little impatient. Yes,
I am. I'm impatient. I want to get out of there. I want to get the fastest time. I'm competitive. I want to get done. But we're doing 2 of them tomorrow because one of the local ones is closing. And so we're doing 2 rooms that we haven't done at that location. So we're going to do those, me and Jeremy and the families. But yeah, I mean, we'll
give you an update on it next week.
Yeah, you go in, they give you an hour, they give you a few clues that you can use, and you try to find the things around the room to get out. So it's fun, man. I don't know.
So you get out every time, right?
There was one time in Orlando.
One time you couldn't get out?
We got out, didn't we?
No.
Was I not with you? Or
you were there, man. It was that one in the strip mall. It's talking about strip malls again. Not that strip malls are bad because most of them are in strip malls. But like that the carnival.
We got to go up to Orlando, go to that other one we went to.
I know you told me about it.
I mean, are the rooms big? I mean, how big are the rooms?
It depends.
We got in one that was real tiny one time, at least to start.
The zombie one. Yeah, that was me and Jeremy were in one side and everyone else was on the other side. Like we tried to give them the benefit of the doubt. It was a mistake. Me and Jeremy should have split up. But me and Jeremy are on one side. We're like, we're done with our part. We're like, guys, what's going on over there? And there's like 7 people in the other room. One of them was my mom, and my mom was like, I need to get out of here. I need to get out of here.
I'd have been standing right next to her. I'm going, that's right. We got to get out of here.
Oh, shit. No, you remember what I'm talking about. It was that circus themed one at that one we went to.
We made it out.
No, it was at the very end. I was having to use that like claw grab machine game.
Oh, that's right. The machine was broken.
Yeah, exactly. The machine was broken. So it was not necessarily our fault. I mean, I don't know. Maybe we could have finished it faster, but that's the only one we've never gotten out of. Oh, well, I haven't got. There was one in New York. You weren't with me, Jeremy.
One in New York, yeah.
Yeah, that was actually. They're called the Great Escape Room. They have one in Orlando. I did it in Albany. We couldn't get out of that one, but we were literally at the last thing we had to do. We figured it out, but there were so many things we had to do in that room. That was the most complicated room I've ever been in. Like I had 8 people with me, and we were literally working until the last second. All of us doing it, and we were unscrewing the vent to get out, and that's when our timer expired. So yeah, it sucks. But it's fun. It's good times. You know, it's puzzle solving. It's working together as a team. A lot of companies use it for team building exercises and that kind of thing.
I see that being a bad idea.
Yeah, I know.
That's a bad idea.
You dumbass.
Yeah.
How did you get this job?
They gave you the key and you couldn't get the fuck out of the room. You're fired.
I wanted to do it with my kickball team in Orlando a few years ago, but we could never get everyone on the same page as to when we were going to do it. I was game. I'm always game. Like you want to do a room? Fine. Let me know when. I'll put it down. I'll send you guys a Venmo or a Apple Pay and you pay me and we'll go do it. But it's hard getting 10, 12 people together the same day.
Right.
Yeah. The other thing Jeremy had was I do like ending on escape rooms, but Jeremy had something about
AO. We can wait till done. We can talk about
no. This can't. Can this
just tell me the topic? We don't have to talk about it. We'll just say next week we'll talk about.
Well, I mean, we do have anal glands on the list. But
we got to talk about that.
I still don't know what that's about.
We gotta talk about that.
See, that's all that's on his list. That's what I'm saying. I got no idea where to go with that. Or what I need to be prepared for.
Ask me a question, Google. I don't know. No, so my dog. This is
dog ass we're talking about.
Yeah, my dog Noel. Yeah.
Oh, I got it. Yeah. Okay, go ahead, because I got a story about anal glands.
Oh Jesus!
I didn't know it was that big a thing until we got our newest dog last summer, and so eventually we're noticing this smell, and it's like I guess I would describe it as a fishy smell. Yes. And, we know where it's coming from. It's coming from her ass. And so I don't know how to deal with that. But then offhandedly, one time a few months ago, my wife's like, oh, yeah, that's her anal glands. We need to squeeze them. I said, you can go ahead and squeeze them because I'm not doing it.
Exactly.
And so I looked it up and there are ways you can do it at home. I'm just like, nah. And so I called the vet. I'm like, yo, how much to do this? $30. Cool. I'll drive her over there.
Jesus Christ.
Our dog gets that done as part of her grooming.
Yeah. I don't get my dog groomed because she doesn't need it. You know what I mean? She doesn't.
Neither does my dog. She doesn't really have long hair, but that's part of it.
Christ.
Jeremy's got that rich people thing where he takes the dog. He's got a dog walker.
I remember before.
Nails.
Yeah, exactly. I remember I visited my mom once when she was living in Georgia, just before I went up to live with her. And I was up there just on vacation or whatever. And I had gone out the night before and I, got a little tipsy or whatever. And she's down in the kitchen. I hear her, messing around down there or whatever, talking to the dog. So I walk down, I go into the fridge, I get, whip out the orange juice, get ready to get a glass out of the cabinet. The whole time my mom is sitting on the floor with the dog kind of between her legs. She's sitting with her legs crossed, Indian style. And she's got the dog in front of her. And I'm not really looking at what she's doing, right? I just see the dog there and I hear her talking to it like, it'll only take a second and, be calm and blah, blah. So I'm still groggy. I'm pouring my orange juice. So I stop. I'm drinking more orange juice. I'm watching what she's doing. And it's not even clicking that her hands are in this dog's ass, basically squeezing these glands. So I'm like, so suddenly it dawned on me what the fuck was going on. And I was like, what the fuck are you doing? And she said, I'm squeezing his glands. I go, what fucking glands do you got to squeeze on a dog? My whole life we've had dogs. Never once did I see anybody squeezing a dog's ass to get the shit out of its glands. So I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? This is what you have to do with this animal? I said that I would get rid of that fucking thing immediately. Oh, but if I don't squeeze them, they get painful and they smell. And I'm like, well, then you got to get rid of that fucking dog. You got to, I'm sitting there watching, and I'm telling her, I'm like, Mom, I'm watching my mother squeeze a dog's ass. All right. This is not good for my psychology. Okay. It's going to take years to get this out of my head. My God. But yeah, that's what she was doing. Yeah. And it was a Scottish Terrier. I mean, I don't know if they're popular fit. I don't know how many dogs need this, done to them, but that was just unreal to me. I'm like, it's bad enough we got to pick up their shit when they're walking down the street. And now you got to go in there and squeeze its ass to make it not smell. I mean, Jesus Christ.
What it does is apparently I talked to the vet, the anal glands there, they lubricate to help the shit come out.
Yeah.
And so, that's their purpose. And sometimes sometimes it just doesn't work.
I just soap it up, man. I got poop on a rope. I rub it between my cheeks.
But you're not a dog.
No, I'm not a dog. I got other things. I use shampoo, actually. Shampoo is a little more slippery than soap. So
take that shampoo bottle now. Stick it up my ass. At a medium pace. What a great song.
Wow. Anal glands. This is where we've gone. Jesus Christ.
Hey, provocative.
Yeah. You tell your dad to listen to this one.
He does. He says
if he's still standing after that fucking T-shirt we just went over, I'd be surprised.
He's so proud.
Wow. My son. This is my son.
don't know if he's ever been proud of me, but we'll see.
That's probably true.
Jeremy likes to point out that, my dad and mom thought I was gay for a while. And so not that my parents are homophobic. It's just they wish I probably would have talked to him, been honest with him, but I wasn't. I was just lying about going to my girlfriend's house because I didn't want them to know that. So I told them I was going to this guy's house all the time.
Oh, yeah. It's probably a good looking guy, right? Yeah.
I mean, I guess he got arrested for
didn't wear a shirt on.
Making meth, right?
Yeah, making meth. Yeah.
Oh, he was on meth.
I don't know if he was using. I don't want to get specific into it, but
making it.
Yeah.
Wow. Hey, you know what? He only did that because you are very high maintenance. He wanted you to have the best of everything, so he had to cook meth.
Maybe. I mean, it was there. Anyway, Jeremy, I think the only one, because we talked about WandaVision, that's still on the list. I was in the middle of watching today's episode when you guys wanted to do the show. So I haven't watched this week. So I know you guys, Jeremy, you watching it, right? No,
I'm not watching. I don't have Disney.
I know
Plus.
You don't have Disney Plus. That's why I'm like, hey, we're not going to really talk about it. Jeremy, what do you mean about AOC wanting to rein in media? What does that mean? I don't really know anything about that. She
had a quote this week where she thinks that we need to rein in what the media is allowed to say because of the current things are going on in the world, and they were responsible for the attack on their insurrection on the Capitol, however you want to put it. So she thinks that we need to have oversight over the media, or that the government needs to have oversight over what the media is reporting.
Wow.
Which channel did you see this on? Newsmax, OAN?
That's pretty bold.
No, it's all over the internet on CNN. She made the quote. I looked, but that is fucking scary to me. She has not read the First Amendment. That's some scary shit.
That's a pretty bold statement.
I'm going to look this up. You guys talk for a second. AOC rein in media. Oh, that's one of the first things that pops up.
Oh, there you go.
There you go.
Yeah.
I'm not making this shit up.
It's got to be true.
I don't get my news from Facebook. There's a lot of shit out there about her right now. People claiming she wasn't actually, or she making shit up about the Capitol. She was there. I'll give her. She can be scared. That's fine. She was in a different building, but that's fine.
Yeah.
But
this is what she said.
The media is scary shit.
But no, I mean, this is what she said right here. It was during apparently an Instagram live, and I'm reading the quote right here off of Forbes.com. It says, quote, "We're going to have to figure out how we rein in our media environment so you can't just spew disinformation and misinformation." Adding and end quote. And then she said, media literacy and the lack thereof is a part of what happened here. And I think she was talking about the insurrection. So, I mean, I get what you're saying, Jeremy, and I don't
decide what's the truth.
I understand. Right. I do understand that. But at the same time, when did this
scary shit?
I get it. But when did this become a thing? Like, it's newspapers, you look at old movies, there was always like William Randolph Hearst had, control, and he can get his newspapers to say whatever he wants. But I mean, you got news should be news. And there's a difference between opinion pieces, and then there's a difference between news. The problem is nowadays it's so blurred that every show is basically either almost a really bad mixture of it. And, and that's even that's from
both sides.
I understand. Again,
both sides there.
Absolutely. No, listen, but even everyone, I feel like everyone's clearing the air right now. Like Lou Dobbs just lost his show on Fox News, like one of the most popular shows apparently, because he kept on with Trump's election fraud shit. So he just lost one of his show on there. CNN, yeah, but that goes back to Vinny's point about 24/7 talking heads. We got 600, 700, 800 channels. They got to fill the time, and unfortunately, a lot of it's opinion.
The problem with the media that I have is that, like you just said, there's so much of it. You don't know who to believe. You don't know who's actually telling the truth. Of course, you're used to watching a certain news outlet. You tend to believe what they're going to say, but then 10 minutes later you put on another network and they're saying something totally different. It's just like you don't know who to believe. And the disinformation that she's talking about, that I agree with, but having government have control of the media, that's pretty scary stuff.
My problem with the media isn't even so much I can see when they're spinning it. It's when they decide to just ignore stories because it doesn't fit their narrative.
Yeah, that too.
And they just gloss over it and don't even want to talk about it because it doesn't fit their narrative that this guy sucks or that guy's great.
Mm-hmm.
You can't say anything bad about him then because it doesn't. We want you to think he's great or this guy sucks, so we can't give him credit for anything he's done right.
Right.
And that's when you end up just having completely different news cycles or news reporting because it's just blatant when they start doing that stuff. Yeah, if you want to spin it and say, but at least mention it happened and say, yeah, hey, this was good.
Yeah.
You don't even have to say this was good. I don't really care what your opinion is. This is what happened.
Right. It's not. I don't want it to be an op-ed.
Had to frame it as good or bad.
Right. Right.
I mean, I think that's the thing. They all are op-eds, Vinny. I mean, you can go talk about it if you want. That's basically what everything is now. I mean, when I get news, yeah, a lot of it is from Facebook, and it's usually the same sites, but a lot of it's like news sites that get their stuff from the AP. I feel like the AP is a really trusted source. That's one of the reasons they are the ones to call an election. And yeah, it's not, they don't certify the election, but they call the election. They're the official ones. Right. I mean, that's the wire service most of our news outlets get stuff off of. And whether or not they mold it to fit their narrative, that might be something that happens. But I mean, I also look at several different sources. Yeah, I mean, I'm one also, you guys know, I'm one to send you guys a link to a story. Yeah. But I try not to send anything that's just salacious because I don't believe that's true unless there's facts behind it. If there's evidence, that's a different story. But I don't know. Yeah.
Well, there's a problem with being a monster like the AP as well. Is they have the power to do whatever they want, say whatever they want. Really, I mean, once they've gotten the trust of millions and millions of people, whatever they say, it kind of goes. I mean, and then there's just some outlets that are just out there to stir the pot and stir shit and cause trouble, within the media that makes the media look like shit, like you can't trust anybody anyway. So, I mean, it's just hard for me to pick one source of news and say, yeah, that's the one I'm going to go with.
And you really can't.
Yeah. I mean, CNN comes the closest for me. I mean, I don't watch a lot of news anyway. I'm kind of jaded. I'm like, I'm sick of hearing about it. But I'll listen to some network news at night, but that's about it. And local news, I don't even bother with. But yeah, I mean, as far as huge news outlet, CNN's the closest thing for me. But then again, I question the shit that they come up with sometimes too. So,
and even Newsmax the other day when MyPillow douchebag when it was on there being interviewed by Newsmax, two anchors, he would not stop cutting in and butting in this interview. The Newsmax anchor, the guy anchor, got so frustrated that he talks to his producers during this live interview. He's like, can we shut this down, please? And like when the producers don't tell him the answer he wants, the male anchor literally just walks out of his seat and walks off camera.
Oh, Jesus.
I mean, because this MyPillow guy just keeps trying to spout this election fraud thing. He's like, I'm putting out a movie this Friday that proves that the election was stolen from Donald Trump, blah, blah, blah. Right, and I don't know if you guys know, he put out the movie today. It's nothing but the same bullshit that's been said since November and disproven. So this guy's just some crazy nutbag. My dad likes to give him a lot of credit. He's like, well, he overcame these addiction issues. And yeah, I'll give someone credit for that, but that has nothing to do with you being a total fucktard. Believing this stuff that never happened. That was said by the Justice Department, many places. None of this ever happened. Let it go.
Yeah. Don't worry. He'll fall off the wagon and be an addict again. Don't worry about it.
All right. Now that we've had a fun end of the day.
Hey, that's not a bad way to go. Fuck you, MyPillow guy. That's a good way to go.
Yeah, fucking piece of shit.
I think he got sued for like $2 billion, just like Rudy Giuliani and everything. I don't know how they come up with that number, these voting machine companies, but like $2 billion, you ain't gonna ever get that money from anyone.
Yeah. You know how many pillows you got to sell? You get $2 million.
I've never tried a MyPillow, but is it really that good to get $2 billion?
Are you kidding me? It's just another fucking pillow. It's unreal. Just another. I get a pillow at Costco that's just as good as that fucking thing.
All right. We finished the list, I think, so we can end it for the week, but we have to come up with all new shit for next week. So if you guys have
it's out there, man. It's out there. We'll find it. Trust me. I might even do that homework that Jeremy asked me to do 5 weeks ago.
We're gonna grade you on it much more severely.
I gave Mike some homework for this week too.
You did what? More homework?
What do you got to do, Mike?
That's right.
I don't even know.
Watch
what are you talking
about? Movie with his kid. What the hell?
Oh,
what are you talking about? I watched Troll and I watched Green Lantern. Yes. We're gonna go watch WandaVision. What do you want me to watch with her? What do you want me to watch? You want me to watch Deep Throat with her?
No, watch
Sound of Music and Forrest Gump. Come on.
Sound of Music and Forrest Gump?
Yeah, at least
Forrest Gump's 3 hours long.
Oh, you can't kill you to spend some time with your daughter? Really?
Come on, quality time.
I'm the one when watching the movies. I'm the only one in this family, in my immediate family, that can stay off their phone while we watch a movie. These two on their phones the whole time. We
can talk about this tomorrow.
I know. That's next week.
And when Forrest Gump prematurely ejaculates with Jenny, exactly. You can just say, you can just tell her to go get some popcorn for you.
I'm sorry.
Could you give me a soda?
I'm sorry, Jenny. That doesn't usually happen to me.
I'm not a smart man, but I know that I just came.
Mama always says orgasms are.
Mama always said my underwear got sticky.
Forrest, why is your underwear like cardboard? All right,
God.
So if you guys have a topic question,
hey, Sirius XM is missing out, man.
I think so. Give us a call 240-724-6877. I can't believe I remember that number every week. 240 Saints with 3 S's. Saint did call in, by the way, this week, but his voicemail was such poor quality. I talked to him and we agreed that it was not worth putting on the podcast because it sucks because he wanted to introduce his new segment. I believe he calls it Some Old Florida Shit. That's his new segment.
Yeah,
so he wants to put that.
All right.
Yeah. So that's something we need to think about as well. Put it on the list. That's going to be a perpetual thing. So if you guys think Jeremy will know what I'm talking about on FARC, the Florida tab. That's kind of what we're going for here. So a Florida man thing kind of thing.
Okay, I got you.
Vinnie, that kind of the dumb shit Floridians do.
Dumb shit. All right, okay.
I mean, I'm sure we can put some Georgia in there too, because Georgia is basically North Florida.
We got some, there's some dumb motherfuckers up here too. So,
so I think that's what we want to do. You can email us at usualsaints@gmail.com. You can find us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at The Usual Saints. Find us on all your favorite listening platforms, which is where you're listening now. And for Vinny and Jeremy, I'm Mike D. Thank you once again for listening to The Usual Saints.
Peace.
And now we have to do that after talk that Jeremy likes me to include in.
I'm done.
The after talk.
We talked for an hour and a half.
I'm done talking, man. I'm sick of it.
Right.
I think it was more than an hour and a half. I think this might be our longest episode today.
Ever.
Yeah. Think when Saint comes back, unless he puts a limiter on us, unless he tells us we need to end, we're just gonna get longer and longer. We're gonna be doing 4-hour shows. We're gonna be doing like Rogan and Stern soon.
We'll just keep going until Saint falls asleep, and when he falls asleep, we'll end it.